Are you ready for the next letter? Today, we're going to look at the letter Pei. So get your pen and your notebook and let's practice some Hebrew. Shalom, welcome to Scribe School. I'm Rob Van Hoff, or Rob on the Rock, and today we're going to look at the letter Pei. And it's a real simple letter to make in the simple block script. It's kind of like right there. There you go. It's like a little spiral. I start in the middle and I go up to the left in a curve and then all the way down to the right and then back to the left again. If you were to exaggerate it, it would be like the opposite of a letter E. You see a backwards letter E, but you don't want that middle part to touch. You could also think of it like a big fat circular paper clip. And that's a P. It can make a F sound, like an F, or a hard labial P, like that. It's the letter Pei. So you want to write that a gazillion times, really get it down, change your color if you like. Pei, Pei. Practice the last few letters, Samic, Ayin, Pei, Mem, Nun, Samic, Pei. Let's try another color here. And then we're going to look at some of the Dead Sea Scrolls, as well as that wonderful medieval Pentateuch, the Washington Pentateuch that we like to look at. Pei, Samic. Oops, that's a horrible Samic. I like my Samics to be more circular. Samic, Ayin, Pei. So let's look now at some of these other manuscripts and see if you can recognize our Pei. First, we'll go to our Great Isaiah Scroll. Now here, we're looking at Isaiah chapter 9 at a messianic prophecy where the text says, V'karashimo Pele, Pele. His name shall be called Wonderful. Now we know that this is a prophecy of Yeshua, the Messiah, who is called Wonderful. His name shall be called Pele. Now there's a little bit difference in the Hebrew here in terms of this V'karashimo, but that doesn't, then the Masoretic text as opposed to the Great Isaiah Scroll, but it still has the same meaning. They shall call his name Pele. And what you see here, that's as big as I can make it though. Do you see the letter Pei? That's Pei and then a Lamed and then an Aleph. Pei, Lamed, Aleph spells Pele. Backwards, it's Aleph. It's the Aleph Lamed Pei would be the word Aleph for the letter Aleph, but we're reading it from right to left. Pei, Lamed, Aleph, Pele. And that means wonderful. Pele. So you know all the letters for the word Pele, for a prophetic name of the Messiah. Another example is down here from verse 7. It says he will establish his kingdom Mishpat. Mishpat. So we have Mem, or Bet first, Be with Mem. And then we see the Shin, which we haven't learned yet. That's a sh sound. And then there's another Pei, Pa, and then a Tet. So you see the letter where my hand is here is the same letter that is up here above this hand. Pei and Pei. And if we just bring our little dry erase board here to the side, and let's see, let me erase some of this here. Basically how they're doing this at Qumran is, or at least this particular text, they kind of do something like this for the Pei. Oops, you can't see that, can you? Where did it go? There it is. Something like that. Which is tough because our Nun, remember our Nun is like this. So we want to differentiate these letters. And so that word Pele, like we just saw, is spelled like this with the Qumran script. we have the pei, and then the lamed looks something like that. Oops, I'm not making that easy for you to see, am I? And then aleph like that. Pele. And that's this guy way up here. Pei, lamed, aleph. But what I would like you to do with the block script is this, is pei, lamed, aleph. Something like that. Pei, lamed, aleph. So whereas the Great Isaiah Scroll has this, I want to encourage you to learn this upper way like that. Pele means wonderful. Okay, let's look now at the Washington Pentateuch and see some letters here. Now this is, we're still looking at the Washington Pentateuch, but I grabbed an image of the opening of the book of Exodus. Ve'ele shemot b'nei Yisrael haba'im mitzrayma et Yaakov. These are the names of the children of Israel coming to Egypt with Jacob. And if we go down, we can see some places where we'll see the letter pei in some of the tribe names, like here, Naphtali. Naphtali, see this pei? So it's Vav, Nun, and then a nice, beautiful pei. And here, it makes a f sound, Naphtali. And then we see below this is Exodus chapter 1, Vayhi kol nefesh. Kol nefesh, all the souls, nefesh, so it's Nun, there's another pei, and then shin, of course, we haven't practiced yet. So here on this one image, you should be able to see the pei of Naphtali. Naphtali, see that pei? It kind of goes in, up and to the right, and then down to the left again. And then over here, nefesh. All the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob, 70 nefesh, 70 souls. Here it is again, nun, and then a pei. Now with pei, we have a final form. Remember our other letters like a kaf, a mem, and a nun all had final forms, sophit forms. Well, the pei does also. And here we go with the name Yosef. So Yosef is Joseph. And see this letter at the end? That is a pei sophit. So here we see in Exodus 1 the word nefesh with the f, the pei. This is the normal pei, and then we see the Yosef and Joseph with the final pei, the pei sophit. Basically, you start the same. See how it starts in the middle, goes up to the left, and then curves back over to the right, and then curves downward to the right. But right when we get here, if it's a form that's at the beginning or middle of a word, we come back to the left with some sort of base. But if it's a final form, we don't curve back to the left. We go straight down, and as you can see here, even a little bit to the right. And we can again see Vayamat Yosef, and Joseph died. Yosef, here's again, Yod, Vav, Samek, Pei. This little angle up to the left here that you see, that is an accent. We're not looking at that. Yosef, that's the name Joseph. So let's go back to our little dry erase board here, and let's do some writing. Here, let me move that over just a little bit more here. Hopefully you're able to follow along with what I'm trying to do here. So we're writing Joseph now. Oh wait, I don't want red though. Let's do black again. So here we have Yod. Oops. Yod, Vav, Samek, Pei sophit. Yod, Vav, Samek, Pei sophit. So see how I'm doing the difference between a pei, which is like this, and a pei sophit. Like I said, you come to here and you just go straight down. So Yosef ends in the pei, so we use the pei sophit. We use that form. as you can see here to the left, Yod, Vav, Samek, Pe Sofit, Yosef. Yod, Vav, Samek, Pe Sofit. Some of those other words we saw in Isaiah, we saw Pele, like this, remember? Pele, that means wonderful. Yosef. We saw the word Mishpat, but technically, right, we haven't learned our shin yet. Mishpat. But there's our Pei. Mishpat is that word for judgment. Mishpat is given by a shofet, the shoftim, the judges. And what is a mishpat? Mishpat is where a judge differentiates good from evil. A true judge will call good, good, and evil, evil. Righteousness, he will call righteous, and wickedness, he will call wicked. And that is what we call mishpat, the verdict that condemns evil and vindicates the righteous. There's practice a couple more times with Yosef. Yod, Vav, Samek, Pe. Yosef. Pe Sofit. And if you want, of course, you can practice. Let's bring this all the way over here, like so. Get a different color. And practice your final form right next to your regular form. So you can go regular Pe, Pe Sofit, regular Pe, Pe Sofit. Just like this. Pe, Pe Sofit, Pe, Pe Sofit, Pe, Pe Sofit. There you go. And if we're going to, let's do a green here and we'll write the Aleph Bet. So there's our Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zion, Chet, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei. And then, of course, if I change colors and we can do final forms in purple, let's say. So Kaf takes a Kaf Sofit, Mem takes a Mem Sofit, Nun, a Nun Sofit, and then Pei, a Pei Sofit. There you go. Let's do some final giant pink Peis. Let's do that because it's pink. So here's a standard Pei right there. And then I'll do a little smaller. Let's see, down to the left, down to the right here. A Pei Sofit. I think it's helpful to get different colors and write them in different sizes. Write some tiny ones and some bigger ones, because you're building up those neural pathways. Remember, the Lord designed our minds to learn and recognize shapes and sounds that are in different contexts. And so that's what we're exercising. We're just using and taking advantage of, deliberately, the way the Lord designed our minds to learn. And we want to exploit that because he gave it to us on purpose, that we can focus on something and practice it in different ways and make that information second nature. We make it our own. And then no one can take it from us. So for example, see, I can just kind of outline. I'm doing sloppy here. But be creative in making your letters as you practice and learn them. This way you're going to remember them visually. You're going to remember the shape through the muscle memory, through writing it, through saying the names like Yosef and Pele, Naphtali, etc. And you're just reinforcing that core piece of information. And it's going to be like that for every letter that we learn. And then we're going to take those and build with them. So keep at it. Keep practicing your Hebrew. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the alphabet. And then we'll transition to learning words. So stick with it. Shalom.